What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you guys have an amazing morning. So today we're going to be discussing the pros and cons with Amazon FBA. Now, it doesn't matter what business you guys are in, whether it's affiliate marketing, Shopify, social media marketing, all these things are going to have pros and cons. There's no such thing as a perfect business venture. There's no such thing as the perfect business model where you're always going to have success and always going to be making money, right? So with Amazon FBA, the first pro that we're going to talk about is basically how it's really easy to source your products, right? So as opposed to something like retail arbitrage where you constantly have to go out, buy these products that are on sale and then ship them off. For Amazon FBA, that's not the case. You buy everything in bulk, you source it from China or wherever you're sourcing it from on Alibaba, and you bring all those products in and have a giant inventory. And that's going on to the next pro for that is how it's passive, right? Since you're getting all this inventory in and you don't have to worry about going out and buying it constantly, right? We have it all stored at an FBA facility, so that way it's all passive. We don't have to worry about it. Once we start selling it, all we have to do, of course, is maintain the listing and update it in the future so that we can compete with other people that decide to jump on that product as well. So going on to the next pro is you have much less fees in this business than the other businesses that can be compared to, right? If you think about retail arbitrage, for every sale they take out like $1 or something like that, and you have to pay the shipping fees yourself when you actually ship it over to whatever customer orders it. So there's definitely much more profit to be made with Amazon FBA because you're actually sending the products all over to a FBA facility, and Amazon does that all for you, and they only charge fees based off of the weight and of course any of the shipping fees. So it's not that expensive when it comes to the fees and stuff. And if you look at things like affiliate marketing or even social media marketing, there's things where you have to pay for like the ad spend and testing stuff. And so there's no really business venture or business model where you're not investing money to get money back. So there's really no way that you can jump in any business, especially at Amazon FBA, without thinking you have to spend money initially. So going on to the next thing is that it's a very open and creative business. And what do I mean by that? I mean that even if you come out with a product on Amazon FBA, it doesn't mean that you can expand that brand outside of it, right? Because that's what we're trying to do. So instead of just throwing up a product on there and just having the brand exist on Amazon, we're trying to expand it. We're trying to make it into a bigger business, a bigger brand, so that we can sell outside of it, like on things on Shopify, having our own website, having our own Facebook page, so that we can have this giant list of people and subscribers and people that love our product and brand, so that we can constantly grow it and grow our email lists and stuff. And that even goes on to affiliate marketing, and our whole goal here is to create a giant brand for whatever niche it is on Amazon. And doing Amazon FBA starting out is a very good way to start that process, right? So that's why I think it's an awesome thing. Of course, you can do that with many other business ventures, but I think Amazon FBA especially is really good for this because it deals with physical products and a giant customer base. So going on to the next thing, which is there are many resources that can help you get started with Amazon FBA, right? If you think of other things, maybe like social media marketing, and then retail arbitrage, it's kind of hard to figure out who can work with you or who has the time to work with you. But with Amazon FBA, since it's something that's more it really just takes one person to do it, right? It really just takes one person to do most of the stuff. You can actually go outside your own skill set and go on places like Fiverr and other outsourcing websites and get people to do stuff for you, right? So whether it's the design of your logo or the design of your box patterns or whatever, and doing your product listing, basically anything for your Amazon business can be outsourced. There are tons of resources to help you make money. It doesn't even have to be an outsourcing thing for that. It can be, using things like Viral Launch, Jungle Scout, all these different tools that you guys can use, Keyword Inspector, all these tools that are to your guys' advantage that you can use to help you succeed on Amazon FBA. And that's one thing that I really like about this business venture. It's just that there's tons of different resources out there that are going to help you, and tons of people out there on Fiverr that are going to be able to help you as well. And basically for Amazon FBA, like literally a lot of it can be outsourced, except of course things like you picking a product and doing the product research, and then you actually outsource or actually sourcing it from a supplier. A lot of other stuff can be taken care of by other people if you're not good at it. Now, of course, I suggest you guys get good at that stuff because it's going to help you in the long run, and it's going to help you understand what works and doesn't work when you start launching your product. So that's definitely something you guys should keep in mind. So let's see. So also another pro for this business model is that you can get it's a very creative. Like you can, especially since we're not doing retail arbitrage, or we're not doing affiliate marketing where we're selling other people's products or advertising other people's products. We are creating our own product, right? We are molding it into the way that we want it. So we have a model of a product, and we're basically altering it to our own liking, to what we think other people will like, whether it comes to the actual the product design, the box design, designing our own logos, designing our own bundles, and then just customizing it to our own manner. That's why I think this whole business model is something that's very good for creative people that like coming out with their own, even to the point of coming out with your own inventions, developing your own brands, and basically outsourcing stuff and expanding stuff. So I think it's a very good start for people that are creative and want to start a business to their own liking, right? Because of course we're jumping on the market selling products that have demand and stuff, but from there the whole goal is to branch outside of that and create separate brands from one brand, and separate products from the products that we're selling now, so that we have a much bigger store, or a much bigger product base. So now we're going to switch over to the cons of Amazon FBA. Now there aren't that many things, but just like with any business model, there's going to be cons or things that we don't necessarily like, or something that's a little bit more difficult. And basically the biggest con is probably the product research, and it's not because that it's something that is necessarily hard. It's just time consuming. Like everybody knows how to do product research, right? You find a product that has good review, or it has a decent amount of reviews, has a good amount of demand, a decent amount of competition, and we jump on that product. It's not that hard. It's just the concept of trying to find that golden product, which I think a lot of people, they think they're going to find a perfect product, but there's really no such thing, right? We try to jump on a product that is decently competitive to let us know that there's money to be made. And doing the product research is pretty hard. I get it. You stay up those sleepless nights just trying to figure it out, even though if you're using Jungle Scout tools. But I think by far that's probably the biggest negative, I think, of Amazon FBA. I wouldn't even call it a negative. It's just it requires the most work when it comes to jumping on the Amazon FBA. And when you think, well, usually if you live in the United States and you're trying to jump on the American marketplace, then yes, it's going to be a little bit more time consuming and hard, and that's because there's a lot of products out there. There's millions of products, millions of sellers that you basically have to sort through in order to find the right one, or the good product. So going on to the next thing, and this is also another big con as well. I mean, it's not, I don't like thinking of these as cons, but more as like challenges, right? And the next thing is probably the budget to start Amazon FBA. It's probably one of the businesses out there that or the online businesses, I mean, that costs a little bit more than everything else. Because usually at minimum you need $1,500 to start, and that only covers the product fees that you need in order to sort your product over, and then for it to be manufactured. So and that doesn't cover the fact that you have to do giveaways, whether you're using Viral Launch or Jump Send or ZonJump. and that just doesn't consider it all. And you know, altogether, a lot of times it can cost you anywhere from $2,500 to $3,000, especially if you're doing logo design, getting 500 units like you guys should be. And yeah, so it requires a little bit bigger budget, but honestly, if as long as you have the $1,500, you should be good to get your product in. That's fine. Just save up, just get the product, send it over, you know, let it sit there in the facility, and then save up that next $1,500 or so, and then use that in order to launch your product. So that is, I think, probably basically the biggest challenge when it comes to Amazon FBA. But with that investment, you're always making it back, right? It's not really, I don't think it's really a con or anything, because you're gonna make it back no matter what. Even if you pick a decent, like a product that's kind of iffy, like it looks like a good product, but you know, you might go on to the next page and it looks bad, or you know, the sales aren't consistent. It's okay, because eventually you're going to get that money back. You're just investing it for this time to see what happens, to you know, pull the trigger. But even if you don't do well, even if the product doesn't sell for you, you can always bring it back and sell it on eBay or whatever site. And also if you leave it on Amazon, especially if the product has good demand, eventually over time, I'd say maybe 1 to 3 months or so, you're going to sell out of it. You're going to make your money back again. So it's not that big of a deal. So with that being said, guys, that's all I really wanted to cover for the pros and cons of Amazon FBA in 2018. And you know, Amazon FBA is something that people can jump on. You know, it's really easy, it's really step by step. It's just that it's very time consuming. And once you guys get past the first initial product research part, that's when things start unraveling, becoming more procedural and basically more easy. So with that being said, make sure you like down below and subscribe, and tell me what you guys want to see next on this channel. You know, I'm coming out with these daily videos. I'm trying to pump these out so that you know, you guys are constantly be given value. So with that being said, just tell me what you guys want to see, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Peace.